Alright, today we look at CPCTC, which stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. We've kind of talked about this before with just any triangle, so if we said triangle ABC was congruent to triangle XYZ, we automatically knew that angle A and angle B must have been congruent because they were in the same spot in the congruent statement. So now all we're doing today is we're going to find congruent triangles and use that to determine the congruent side. It's kind of working backwards from what we've done in a way. So what we need to look at, we need to say what three things are definitely congruent. Well, one thing we know, angle B must be congruent to itself. They're both right angles. In this picture as well, we also have the same segment, DB and DB. So those are the same segment idea here, same segment. And then the last step we have here is that AB and BC are congruent. And that's only because it was actually given to us just like that. So we now have our three steps. We can now make a congruent statement. I'm going to say here that I have triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD, and that's by, in this case, side, angle, side. We have a side, we have an angle, and we have a side. So AB to BC, then that was congruent to itself. So now I can then say, well, this last step, angle A and angle C should be congruent. They're in the same spot in the congruent statement, so that's all I'm going to say. Angle C, or angle A is congruent to angle C, and my reasoning is by CPCTC. They are corresponding parts in congruent triangles, therefore they are congruent. Another example that we can look at real quick is the same idea. We want to prove prove GI is congruent to KI. First, any triangles. Here are my three statements. Two are given. I can also say that angle I is congruent in the middle. Therefore, I can say that I have triangle, I'm going to say IJK is congruent to triangle IAG. IAG. That's again, in this case, by angle, side, angle. Then in the end, all I'll say is GI is congruent to KI, which they should be, because GI goes here from 3 to 1, KI goes here from 3 to 1, and that's GI to KI by CPCTC.